Activision Blizzard. We have honestly forgotten about it and have not talked too much. And I do know the story of World of Warcraft, the Wrath Within. And let me tell you, it's stupid. A lot of things happen because they need to happen, because the writers just write themselves in a corner. And they do it roughly 5 times in that whole fucking story. Okay, listen. I have not been paying enough attention to Blizzard, but make no mistake, that does not mean Blizzard is in a good place. There's still a bunch of degenerate woke losers.
You know, I got to tell you guys, after Donald Trump won the election, there has been such meltdowns to astronomical proportions that it's really hard.
I've been loving it, actually, 10 out of 10.
Hard to keep up with all the meltdowns. And I know you guys have been sending me all the memes, all the videos, all the hilarious content that's available to nitpick through. But at the end of the day, it's just a lot to keep up with. However, what I will say is that when it comes to the gaming industry, they are melting down. It's seemingly extra hard because now we have picture proof of what seems to be Activision Blizzard employees appearing to contemplate violence following Donald Trump's election win.
Also, my life is
Hell yeah. Also, you can tell she's pretty fat. Okay, she's not fat, but you can just tell by the cheeks that she's a plus size, ugly woman.
extremely going downhill because I'm getting acne and I'm getting fat and I'm balding right here. If you can't see the whole triangle, it's like a piece of hair.
God Emperor Trump does miracles. He delivers in all ways. He doesn't even know who she is, and yet he makes the wicked suffer. Oh, God bless. Can I get an amen, brothers? Amen.
I'm balding. I'm turning ugly. And my face is getting fat the rest of the day. And I can't even shower for work because I'm not going to be home on time.
Beautiful.
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, we kind of all saw this coming, right? Like weeks before the election, we were saying that if Donald Trump were to win, the amount of meltdowns that would happen, that would ensue after the victory would be astronomical. We all saw that. We all said that. We all predicted that. I think that's pretty fair and that's pretty easy to predict. But Activision Blizzard being caught red-handed with pictures shared by Grums, I think is insane, considering that he used to work there, right? So I feel like he still has connections there to some extent. And to get this kind of information and to
I did not know he worked there. Huh.
Put it out there for everybody to see just proves how insane these people actually are. So let's get into this article, guys, from Phantom Pulse. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, let's do it.
To push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So again, it says alleged Activision Blizzard employee appears to contemplate violence following Donald Trump's election victory. An alleged Activision Blizzard employee appears to have begun not only contemplating violence, but sharing it with others in an internal company Slack. Former World of Warcraft.
That's so 10 out of 10. When you literally have no life and you're kind of trying to vent through the company that you're working in because you're that pathetic. It's beautiful. It's like poetry. Shit literally writes itself.
Team lead Mark Kern, aka Grums. Shit. You know, Grums has the longest title. It's always former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, aka Grums. It's like so long. Shared a screenshot of an alleged internal Slack communication that shows an anonymous Activision Blizzard employee writing the following: "It must be working on redacted, making me more violent, but I have never been more tempted to buy a gun." Grums commented more.
Hell yeah. Dude, the only thing that can save Blizzard is Bobby G, Big D Kotick coming back, okay? Again, Bobby is the only thing that can save Blizzard from itself. He was keeping the floodgates at bay, okay? Everyone who suffered under him, sacrifices must be made, boys. Bobby D Kotick is a goddamn legend. And Blizzard only got so far because of him. And now look at it, it's just there's some kind of Chris Metzen or whatever his stupid face is back. And he's like, okay, let's write some inclusive gay stories now. Oh yeah, we're bringing the gay to the, we're back, boys. Trust me. I love the story that they did so far. It's great. Coward, loser.
Slack leaks from Activision Blizzard. Dev contemplate gun violence. Other devs now see the benefit of armed self-defense. They are losing it. And if you look at this picture here, it's insane. It's obviously he blurred out, you know, you don't want to show their names or anything like that. I get that. So
Look at the fucking response. 10 out of 10.
he blurted out, but you can see it right here. Look at this, night and day. It must be working on blank, making me more violent, but I have never been more tempted to buy a gun. Arm the left, this person says. This person says, after all and
But guns don't solve anything, said the left. Why would you need a gun suddenly? It's useless.
armed minority is harder to oppress with the gun emojis. And then this person says, if you can afford it, get life insurance. No one fights harder than insurance companies. And if more minorities get them, then it'll be harder for hate crime to get swept under the rug. I mean, you got to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. How many of these people who said this are probably white? Let's be real. How many of them?
How many people are black at Blizzard? Probably no one. Actually, let's Google that. Black Blizzard employee. Black Lizard employee. Okay, so I'm gonna assume. Yep, the first thing that we find is actually black lizards. Okay. Yeah, so no one at Blizzard is black. Surprise, surprise.
Are probably white. If you really genuinely believe that you are suddenly going to wake up a slave tomorrow because Donald Trump got elected president of the United States, then you deserve to be retarded. You really do. I just don't understand how anybody can.
I mean, Snoop Dogg literally belongs in the Democrat cotton fields at this point. Okay, he has already woken up a slave, and he's out there he's out there yelling, "Oh boy, Mr. Democrat man, how much cotton do I pick today? It's Snoop D-O double Democrat dick sucking cotton picker." Oh man, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You know it's true, Snoop. You fucking know it's true. You used to stand for something. Now you're a fucking loser. Pathetic.
Could be that stupid. Donald Trump being elected president of the United States is not going to suddenly make you a slave tomorrow. That's not how this shit works. And he's not trying to oppress minorities. What are you going to tell all the minorities who actually voted for Donald Trump, including myself? Who are you going to tell? Like, I mean,
there's actually videos now of this. Well, it's been 2-3 days. I don't even keep track, by the way. But people are constantly posting this. Okay, it's been day 2 or 3 of me surviving under Trump's presidency. And I don't understand it. When is the KKK hooded police force kicking down my door and executing me on the front porch because I'm a Democrat? And they're legitimately confused that it's not happening. Pretty insane stuff. Pretty insane stuff.
what are you going to tell them? What are you going to tell them? What are they, self-hating? Every single one of them is a self-hating Hispanic or a self-hating black person. That's the coping and seething that you're willing to go to try to spin this narrative in your favor. Are we?
Please, Hypno, call them Latinx. They really appreciate it when you do.
Really doing this right now? Grums previously shared from an inside source that devs are melting down after the election. About half of the office is losing their mind. I'm sure. You know, if you think about all of these woke studios that are out there, some of them are worse than Activision Blizzard. Can you imagine what it must have been like at 343 Industries? Can you imagine? Well, I'm sorry, Halo Studios now. Can you imagine what it must have been like at Insomniac Games, for example? Or can you imagine what it must have been like at Ubisoft? Ubisoft of all companies? Can you imagine? It must have been insane. These people must have literally read out there in the office while they were watching every.
The first time Trump won, there was a situation where a lot of social media firms actually gave up just the massive mental health care day for their employees because they were too distraught to work because their life obviously just ended. It was hilarious.
Everything go down. I mean, it must have been.
My favorite part is the fact that these people cannot be helped. That is literally my favorite part, okay? That there is nothing you can say to change their opinion. There is nothing you can show them to change anything. Because you have already lived through a Trump presidency once. And already that time, they tried to sell you the fact that he's literally fucking Hitler. And now, yet again, it's the same thing. The guy's literally Hitler. I mean, Hitler. Close enough. You know? And they're believing it. They got once again believing it. And some of these people are so insanely ingrained in this that they are legitimately saying, I don't know how I'm supposed to survive 4 more years of this. I barely made it through the first time. It's like they're writing that like they were dodging the goddamn Gestapo every day on their way to work. It's insane.
Crazy, and it's still crazy to this day, I'm sure. And then he added that people are crying, panicking, leaving work early. Trans people are talking about buying guns. People are passing out crisis support line numbers. It's complete chaos, he concluded. In a subsequent post, he added, I thought it would be only around 10% of the devs, but it's nearly 50%. It's crazy. That's insane. So wait, people are crying, panicking, leaving work early. If you leave work early because of somebody who won the election, yeah, you're fired. Like, seriously, get the fuck out.
No, Hypno, that's actually not how it works at Blizzard. Because you see, the majority of people who are working at Blizzard actually are getting paid below industry averages, which is hilarious, by the way. Doesn't matter what gender, what anything. It just works like that. Blizzard has been abusing this forever. And it's kind of hard to find replacements in a lot of cases, so them leaving early one time is not going to be a deal breaker, considering the company is most likely making back literally millions in salaries every single year. Multiple hundreds of millions probably in salaries, because they can afford to underpay these idiots in the first place. Okay?
People are talking about buying guns. That's probably not a good thing, statistically speaking. I really don't think they should have guns, but that's neither here nor there. This is not at all surprising, given that Activision Blizzard as a company appears to have been indoctrinating its employees into woke ideology. In fact, the company's president, Bob Kochis, had an entire statement declaring that allegiance to the ideology on the company's diversity, equity, and inclusion website. He wrote the following: "For us to operate at the top of our game in both areas, it is imperative that we champion diversity, equity, and inclusion environment where everyone can show up as the best version."
You know what's the funniest part? When you ask them how the hell does this actually help, make sense, or what positive impact that is, don't fucking know.
Of themselves, motivated and comfortable to push our thinking in all new ways. As we look at our player community, we properly reflect the diversity of our players in our teams, in our thinking, in order to exceed their needs and expectations.
So it should be 90% white, you're telling me?
As they connect in our incredible games, he added. He also stated this culture journey is one that never ends. We will strive to improve every day. This is an essential global team effort that we will continue to refine together. So again, guys, it's very clear that Activision Blizzard for a long time now has been drinking the Kool-Aid. And let's be honest, right? Let's be honest for a second. Why are they doing this? They have...
You know what's the crazy thing? I have been literally waiting for the absolute omega meltdown of Blizzard for 2 years now. Because they are going woke in literally every way possible, but who's holding this shit together? Does Bobby Kotick just return on the weekends and whip everything back into shape, or what's happening here? Because yeah, Blizzard is unironically omega fucking woke. They are one of the wokest companies out there, but somehow there hasn't been a full woke meltdown with the game and everything. It's kind of been moving in that direction, but I honestly thought that we're gonna be laughing at Blizzard going woke and broke like a year ago. But I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe the people actually making the game are not that woke, so they're fighting against it. Who honestly knows? But I'm surprised, honestly.
Massive amounts of skeletons in their closet. Activision Blizzard had a multitude of lawsuits. It will make your head spin. All of them have to be based in sexual assault or some form of workplace misconduct. They have so many people that were going after them for a multitude of different things that this entire shield that they're trying to put up there right now is literally just that. It's a shield to try to protect them from any sort of criticism, backlash, or anything that might come out their way from these lawsuits, especially if these lawsuits ever get, past, if it ever gets to the point of discovery, essentially, which I don't think any of them have, because they all get settled outside of court because they buy people off, right? That's basically what it is. So them doing this and doubling down and tripling down on this nonsense, I'm not exactly very surprised to see this. Then it says the website also states diversity fuels innovation, So we're creating an environment where differences are embraced, valued, celebrated, and always welcome. Our best work comes from a culture in which our employees bring their authentic and best selves, and we work hard to create an environment that encourages and celebrates this belief. And we're proud that we have been recognized for our efforts, including being named one of the best places to work for LGBTQ equality by Human Rights Campaign Foundation's Corporate Equality Index in 2019
Wow, sounds like stupid.
and 2020. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is basically just ESG. That's what they're trying to say. They have.
Wait. Is this not Bow Shadow Lands release day? Oh, look at that! November 2020. So you're telling me they were at the height of their Vogue bonanzas and they released the shittiest expansion ever known in gaming? Surprise, surprise, coincidence.
There are little reports that they have to do that they fill out and they get scored on it, and they scored high because they do maximum shilling. That's all it is. And I don't know if anybody that is thoroughly impressed by the fact that they scored high on the Corporate Equality Index. I'm not exactly sure of anybody that takes that seriously outside of people who are actively getting paid to take it seriously. You have executives that get bonuses based off how high that score is, amongst a multitude of other things. So they're the ones that take it seriously, but everybody else, nobody gives a shit. So again, guys, Activision Blizzard is a prime example of what happens when you have a company that is all for the DEI nonsense, and then when their echo chamber gets...
Yeah, it's funny. Again, I'm still waiting. There's gonna be a Blizzard Vogue Bonanza just implosion. Again, the current storyline of World of Warcraft, the Wrath Within, is effectively this. A bunch of rando things happen where we just install women in positions of power. And I'm not joking about that. We remove all the men and men's opinions from these decision makings. Again, I'm serious. And then a bunch of stuff happens because it needs to happen, even though previously, multiple times, it is shown that the enemy is capable of dealing with all of these problems. For example, how Zalatav gets defeated? Well, by whatever Windrunner's sister shooting a fucking arrow at her, and her choosing to not teleport away from it, like she has done already 5 times in a row, while half of those times have been ambushes and she still was able to react it. But now the enemy is right there in front of you, and you're not doing anything. It's just the dumbest shit ever. And by the way, in all 2 times before, Zelatav has just literally used her absolutely ludicrous level of fucking power because she's the strongest being in the goddamn world. She literally made Khadgar into a bitch. Okay? She just void magic blasts the bow out of her hands. Okay? And the Sylvanas sister can't do anything. This time, no, she doesn't do that. She doesn't teleport. Why? Because all of these things need to happen. And that is literally that is the summary of the story of the War Within currently. Things happen. The good guys can't win, but the good guys win because they need to win. And they win at random for no legitimate reason whatsoever. It's so much non-stop, oh, we're just at the right place at the right time for the 15th time tonight, bro. And so, it's just bad. It's just really bad, okay? There's gonna be a reckoning for this. This is not Blizzard returning to shape. It's pure trash. Anyway, that was Hypno 10 out of 10. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.